What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Well, it just keeps coming. I mean, it just keeps coming at this point, man. Shakira, in my comment section, in my video I just did about Samuel Monroe Jr., informed me of this. Peter Cullen, the Canadian voice actor who starred as the heroic Optimus Prime in a convoy of Transformers films, TV shows, and video games, and as the gloomy Eeyore in dozens of Winnie the Pooh projects, has died. He was 85 years old. Cullen died Wednesday at his home in Los Angeles, his agent, Kevin Motley, told The Hollywood Reporter. He, quote, passed away peacefully surrounded by his loving family and held in the hearts of his many friends and countless fans worldwide. His family said in the statement they asked, quote, that you honor his remarkable legacy by serving your communities and leading others with compassion, integrity, and loyalty. And always remember, be strong enough to be gentle. The Montreal-born Cullen also voiced King Kong for the 1976 remake and the evil Car, short for Night Automated Roving Robot, or Knight Rider series, on the Knight Rider series in 1982 and 2009. And he came up with the scary clicking sounds that emerged from the mouth of the monster in the Arnold Schwarzenegger starring Predator back in 1987. Early in his career, he was a live-action performer and served as the announcer for the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour and the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. I didn't know that about the Smothers Brothers. I didn't know he was the announcer for that. In a 2014 NPR interview, Cullen noted that he initially approached playing Optimus Prime with puzzlement. I auditioned like everybody else. I was told it was a hero, and I was told it was a truck. The good-natured Cullen got the job and voiced the honorable leader of the Autobots for the first time on the 1984 through 87 syndicated series The Transformers, based on the Hasbro toy line and produced by Marvel in association with Toy Animation of Japan and then AKOM or ACOM in South Korea. Optimus' death after a duel with the tyrannical Megatron in the Transformers the movie caused a huge and unexpected outcry, prompting producers to bring Cullen and the character back for the 1987 straight-to-video movie The Transformers: The Return of Optimus Prime. When director Michael Bay resurrected the property for the big screen with DreamWorks' Transformers 2007 starring Shia LaBeouf, it was a no-brainer to rehire Cullen after 2 decades away. I described it as kind of slipping into an old pair of very comfortable shoes that you haven't worn for a while. He told IGN back in 2007, I just slipped right into them, and they felt as good as the last time I put them on. With Cullen as the Peterbilt 379 semi-trailer truck, the film grossed over $700 million worldwide, the 5th highest grossing movie of the year. He followed with the sequels Revenge of the Fallen, 2009, which raked in $836 million, and Dark of the Moon and Age of Extinction, which each raked in over $1.1 billion. Cullen also played Optimus in The Last Knight, 2017, Bumblebee, 2018, and Rise of the Beast, 2023. Chris Hemsworth voiced the character in 2014's Transformers 1. Cullen began as the voice of Eeyore on the 1988-91 series, The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Sidebar. I gotta say this, man. Maybe I'm maybe I'm in the minority here, but the opening theme song for the Winnie the Pooh, the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, that shit fire to me, man. Pooh Bear and let it be there. And when time to leave the city, oh, Winnie the Pooh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm 46 years old, but sometimes the 8, 9-year-old pop out of me sometimes. And he portrayed the droopy donkey in the feature Winnie the Pooh, A Very Merry Pooh Year in 2002, and on other shows and videos. He said once about that, I get an awful lot of reactions from especially young kids when I go up and just say in Eeyore's voice, hello, thanks for noticing me. And he was one of 4 children. He was born July 1941. His parents, Henry, a longtime newsprint executive with the International Paper Sales Company, and his mother, Muriel, were Americans. And he left the National Theatre School of Canada as a member of his first graduating class back in 1963, studied acting under operatic coach Bernard Dilmont, did Shakespeare for a summer in Stratford, Ontario. He was a member of the repertory company at the Crest Theatre in Toronto for a year. And Cullen headed to Hollywood and landed on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Show in 1967 and took part in comedy sketches for the Sonny and Cher program and the Hudson Brothers Razzle Dazzle comedy show. To play Optimus Prime, Cullen said he channeled the spirit of his older brother Larry, a decorated U.S. Marine who served in Vietnam from 1965 to 1968. He says, when I came home, I could see a change. He was quieter, and he was a man and a superhero to me. He said back in 2006, I watched him and I listened to him. I had never had opportunity to do a superhero. And when that came, that voice just came out of me and I sounded like Optimus. Cullen's performance in the first season of 2010 to 2013 series Transformers Prime earned him a Daytime Emmy nomination. And he also voiced many other projects. He was in, I also want to say he was in Chippendale's Rescue Rangers as, was he Monterey Jack? I sworn he was in that series. I want to say he was Monterey Jack. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. He was Monterey Jack the first season, and Jim Cummings took over for seasons 2 and seasons 3. Yeah, I used to like Monterey Jack. Of course, that's a play on cheese. The mouse strong man who loved cheese with the Australian accent. Crikey. But yeah, man, look, I've always, as a kid, I've always was very interested in who was doing the voices of cartoons, going back to Warner Brothers cartoons. And it sometimes amazed me, for instance, like somebody like Mel Blanc, how he could do somebody like Yosemite Sam. I'm Yosemite Sam. But then have the register to do Tweety Bird. I can't even do Tweety. Too fucking high. I don't understand how his voice box could go that high to do Tweety Bird consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have a deeper voice like me, it's hard to, at least for me, to maintain a falsetto register enough to do a character like that. It's a strain on your voice. So Mel Blanc, before the auto accident, was an absolute beast. Something happened after the auto accident. I don't know whether maybe the what do you call it, the the feeding tube or whatever you want to call it, or the respiration, the thing is in his throat. I don't know if it was in his throat for too long or something, but something happened to his voice after the accident where his voice was just a lot more coarser, and you could hear it in his performances. But anyway, getting back to Peter Cullen, man, yeah, he was an absolute legend. He's the definitive voice of Optimus Prime, and while there are going to be others, there are going to be others that will take on the role. When you think of that role, Optimus Prime, you're going to think of Peter Cullen. Just like when I think of the definitive voice for Batman, it's Kevin Conroy. I mean, there are others, but when I hear Batman in my head, I think Peter Conroy. You know what I'm saying? Peter Conroy. When I hear Joker, I think Mark Hamill. There's just certain roles where you just think of certain people. You know what I'm saying? And so, rest in peace to Peter Cullen, man. This has been a terrible last 2 weeks as far as notable deaths. Tell me what you guys think.